Hey friends, welcome to FTW Philly, presented by Temple University. I'm your host, Marissa Magnata, joined by the wonderful Rosemary Kelly, Nekra. Nekra, are you ready for another great episode?
I'm so excited for another great episode, Marissa, and we have so much to go over today. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's coming up?
Happily. We have your esports news. We have Field of View with our weekly gaming news. There's a tutorial for a new type of battle royale called Fall Guys. Now, are you familiar with this game?
Ooh, Fall Guys. I love this game, and I'm so excited we get to feature it.
Oh, that's so exciting. I can't wait to hear all about it. Plus, there is this blast from the past that you won't want to miss. It's going to leave you feeling so super nostalgic.
That sounds amazing, and it sounds like we have so much to go over today, so we should just jump right into it. Last week we talked about how Juju Smith-Schuster is launching new team Diverge, which seeks to be the leader in content creation and lifestyle for gaming. But what if I told you there's another new kid on the block in David Beckham, who's launching a new esports franchise called Guild? Where the two differences lie in these two organizations is that Diverge is focused more on content creation, whereas we're going to see Guild focus a lot heavier on the competition side of things, taking a look at building the world's leading academy system feeding into the upper echelons of esports. What's really cool is that Team Guild has already signed players to their Rocket League and FIFA teams, looking to expand into Fortnite as well as CSGO. And they have £40 million in backing already from being the first esports business on the London stocks. Sounds pretty good for David Beckham. I thought that the horror movie for FaZe Clan was dropping most of their Overwatch League roster, but in this case, FaZe Clan is actually releasing a real horror movie. It's called Crimson, and it's starring FaZe Rug moving into their new multi-million-dollar smart home. What's really neat about the style of this video is that it's styled by found vlog footage, and it's directed by Gregory Plotkin, known for movies like Get Out and Paranormal Activity, so you know it's gonna be good. This video also features clowns, so if you're not into clowns, then you might want to steer clear of this video, but it's out now and you can find it on invis.tv. In other entertainment news, Marvel has renewed their deal with Team Liquid until 2022. That means for 2 more years, we get this epic crossover between esports and superheroes. A ton of really neat collaborations have come through due to this partnership, such as ESL events with the launch of Marvel Super War, as well as Australian Org Chief Esports Club getting in on the action too. Marvel consistently paves the way for more entertainment-based companies to take partnership in esports. The average US salary is $49,764. But what if I were to tell you that the top esports earners of 2019 earned over 60 times that salary in just a matter of days? For Kyle Giersdorf, otherwise known as Booga, at the Fortnite World Cup earned themselves a $3 million at just age 16. And for OG, the winning Dota 2 team of the International in 2019, each player on that 5-person team won $3 million apiece out of the $34 million prize pool. That's a lot of money for these young esports athletes. On October 24th in Toyama, Japan, they held the King Crab tournament for the game Fight Crab. But instead of a cash payout, they ended up paying out the winner in crabs. But not just any crabs, these are the Ben Suegani, otherwise known as the red snow crab, and each of these crabs are worth 3,000 yen apiece, or $28.60. Who says money makes the best prize? About a month ago, Nerd Street Gamers and Comcast Spectacor hosted a women-only tournament for Valorant called For the Women's Summer Showdown, a part of Riot's Ignition series for Valorant. Enter Team Magical. Orglis and Hungry, Alexis, Annie, Jazzykins, Katsumi, and Mel pooled their experience in other competitive FPS titles to form a team, not only taking home first place, but also $25,000 in prize pool. But they left with so much more: camaraderie, teamwork, and have found a new home with Cloud9. Cloud9 White will be coming to tournaments near you soon, so you better watch out. If you watch these women play like I have, there's no surprise why they got picked up by a professional org. Congratulations! We can't wait to keep watching you pop off. Lastly, have you seen this tweet? Looks like Tate is feeling the sting from that loss to the Eagles just last week. Good thing Darius has the ability to self-res in Warzone. I don't know if I'd trust Tate for that res. That's it for this week's esports headlines. Still to come, we've got Darth Mike bringing you the latest in gaming news on Field of View and an introduction to a brand new type of battle royale.
Welcome to Field of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. I'm Darth Mike, coming to you live from Spookyville, Amnesia Rebirth style, population me. And we've got a bunch of news to get to, so let's creep down this corridor and see if we can avoid any unseen horrors. In the slow drip of information about the next generation of consoles, we've got a surprising factoid for you folks. The weight of the standard PlayStation 5. Courtesy of Jeff Knightley, we know that the box the PlayStation 5 comes in, complete with console, weighs in at a whopping 14.7 pounds. Now that is a very hefty console, but Sony's just trying to do a favor for their fan base because they know it's been tough to get to the gym for many in this pandemic, so they're making it so on your holiday shopping you can skip the health section and go straight to the shopping cart because you'll already have picked up a set of weights when you buy their console. Speaking of PlayStation, one of PlayStation's iconic franchises is going to be coming to life on the big screen. We know this because Tom Holland recently posted a photo of himself as Nathan Drake, the central character from the Uncharted franchise. Now, I have no idea how well this movie is going to go. We've got a long history of terrible video game adaptations, but I will say one thing. All of the madcap, daredevil, quick time event type scenarios that Nathan Drake so often finds himself in are going to be a lot less tense when Tom Holland can just Spider-Man his way out of this situation. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez had a stream last weekend of Among Us to promote voting and get out the vote initiatives, and it was a rousing success. She partnered with various streamers and influencers, as well as fellow Representative Ilhan Omar, to stream the popular social game, and it had a record-setting viewership. It was the third highest watch stream of all time on Twitch by an individual, setting a peak of over 440,000 concurrent viewers and averaging well over 300,000 viewers for the duration of the stream. All part of an initiative to get a new generation of gamers and voters involved and invested in the political process, and I say bravo. What a wonderful idea, what a wonderful way to get a new generation engaged in the citizenry of their country. So fantastic job by everyone involved, but I just can't wait until we see the first congressperson called Sus on the House floor. Watch Dogs Legion is dropping on October 29th, the newest game from Ubisoft and the next game in the Watch Dogs series. This one sees you in a near future London, where the country and the city itself have been taken over by a private security firm called Albion that has used a group of protester hacktivists called DeadSec as a scapegoat to seize more and more power from the government. And now this is a strange scenario where militia walk the streets and beat down protesters, and you have to ignite the revolution with anyone at your disposal. You can take on the form of any character in the city, provided you find out enough information about them and recruit them to your cause, and they've got a variety of different abilities. Whether you want to be an old pensioner with a gun in her purse, or a high-flying drone pilot who can sail right over security, there's a million different ways to approach scenarios. Now, the setting is strange and wild, but in any other year it would seem like distant dystopian science fiction. In 2020, it feels like it might be mid-November. New details have emerged about Apex Legends Season 7. There's going to be a new map, Olympus. There's going to be a new vehicle, the Trident, on that map. There's going to be a new legend, Horizon, whose story appears to draw very heavily from a certain movie named Interstellar. Seriously, she's a scientist on a world with a resource crisis where in order to help the person most precious to her, her young child, she must travel to the ends of the galaxy into a black hole to collect a resource. Only then she is betrayed by her compatriot and sent into the singularity where she doesn't age a day, but everyone back home ages 100 years until she finally escapes, finds her way to the Outlands, and apparently decides the best way to correct this is to participate in a battle royale. I don't know when they changed Matthew McConaughey's character into a tall, red-headed Scottish woman, but whatever Respawn's doing, I'm sure it's going to be alright. Well, that's it for us this week on Field of View with Nerd Street Gamers, your weekly dose of gaming news. Now I'm all wrapped up, so I'm going to go ahead and head out of here. And I hate jump scares. I hate them so much. This is why I don't play horror games.
Thank you so much, Darth, for all of that information. What I learned is that when you go to pick up your PS5, you don't even need to go to the gym that day because the thing is so heavy you'll be practically doing curls when you get it into your trunk.
Well, I guess my gym workout's gonna have to wait. I wasn't even lucky enough to get a pre-order for the PS5.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I have a feeling it'll be coming your way soon.
I hope so, Marissa. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Coming up next, we also have an introduction for Fall Guys, a family-friendly battle royale with one of the cutest art styles you've ever seen.
Welcome to Fall Guys, a new type of battle royale made for all ages. Fall Guys is currently available for PlayStation 4 and PC. While Fall Guys is only available on those two platforms, there's been talk about releasing versions for Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and even mobile, but nothing has been confirmed just yet. In this segment, we'll teach you the basics of this new game that is taking the world by storm. Fall Guys is a first-of-its-kind non-violent battle royale where it's you against 59 other players, all with the same goal: claim the crown. Unlike the battle royales we're familiar with, such as Warzone and Fortnite, which feature violence-based gameplay, Fall Guys uses various obstacle courses that you need to overcome in order to win. In short, make it to the finish line and be the last one standing at all costs. Fall Guys is suitable for all ages and includes a friendly art style, non-violent gameplay, and disabled in-game text and voice communication. This makes for a much more enjoyable, family-friendly experience. Even the controls are easy to remember. On PC, use WASD to move, left click to grab, space to jump, and E to dive. On PS4, use the left thumbstick to move, R2 to grab, X to jump, and square to dive. Fall Guys is meant to be fun, rather than overly competitive. Let's get started. First, you will be placed in a match with 59 other players. From here, you will go through a series of rounds, each with their own designated minigame. Each round eliminates a significant chunk of players based on who makes it through each obstacle. Get eliminated and you're out. Qualify and you move on to the next round. Now onto the minigames. There are a variety of minigames, each with their own style and obstacles. Currently, there are over 20 minigames that are split into 4 categories: race, survival, team, and final. The race category is the most common mode where you must be one of the first to make it to the finish line. Race maps include DoorDash, Seesaw, Dizzy Heights, and more. The most common race levels are typically DoorDash and Seesaw. DoorDash starts out by forcing players to break through a certain number of doors that either give way or stay shut. After you make it through, it's a rush to the finish line. Seesaw has a similar concept. However, in this level, there are a series of giant seesaws that you have to jump across and balance on if you want to make it to the end. The next category is survival. In order to qualify into the next round, you must survive. This game mode includes levels such as Block Party, Rollout, Perfect Match, and more. Block Party and Rollout are the most common levels you'll see. Block Party pits everyone on a single platform where you must avoid giant blocks that are tossed your way. Rollout similarly places everyone on a platform, except this time it's rolling, and you must balance while dodging obstacles to survive. Fun fact, other players can throw you off. Next up, we have the team-based mode. In this mode, players will be split into 2 or 3 teams. At the end of the round, the team with the lowest score gets eliminated. Team games include Egg Scramble, Fall Ball, Hoopsie Daisy, and more. Egg Scramble is one of the most common team games, which faces the red, blue, and yellow teams against each other to see who can fetch and collect the most eggs from the middle of the map. Fall Ball is basically soccer, where 2 teams try to score on the opposing team's net, score more goals than the opposing team to avoid being eliminated. Lastly is the final game mode. This mode brings together everyone who has survived throughout each round thus far and pits them against each other in a final battle for the crown. Final levels such as Fall Mountain and Hexagon are currently the 2 most common. Fall Mountain is a giant mountain where you have to run uphill dodging a bunch of different objects and obstacles. The goal of Fall Mountain is to make it to the top first to grab the giant crown. Hexagon is a level made up of several platforms with hexagon-shaped pieces that disappear when stood on for too long. Here, your goal is to be the last one to fall into the goo down below. The player who stays alive the longest gets the crown. Here are some tips that'll help you get the edge against the other players. Our first tip is when to use the dive button. Diving can often be the difference between qualifying or being eliminated. We recommend using the dive option when you need to cover more distance while jumping from obstacle to obstacle. Another instance for diving is when you're neck and neck with someone coming up to the finish line. While diving can give you the edge in certain circumstances, be careful. Use it improperly and it can significantly slow you down as your character needs time to stand back up. Our second tip is when to use the grab button. Grabbing is another trick that can help give you the advantage against your opponents. We recommend using this when you want to push someone into an obstacle, push someone off of the map, or hold opponents back from finishing a race. Being able to master these controls will set you apart from everyone else, further boosting your chances of achieving victory. Now you know the basics of Fall Guys, the simple, family-friendly battle royale that's taking the world by storm. Now get out there and win yourself that crown.
So Marissa, we've had a chance to take a look at the gameplay for Fall Guys. You think this is a game you and I can tackle together?
Oh, absolutely. It was everything you described. It's beautiful, looks like a lot of fun, kind of reminds me of American Ninja Warrior, but family friendly. Maybe if I can master this game, I can make it on the show.
At least you got the practice virtually.
Yes, exactly. Well, coming up, we have this blast from the past that I am so excited for everyone to see. It's gonna take you back to those days of childhood, maybe Ocean City Boardwalk or Wildwood, whatever your jaunt was. You won't want to miss this.
Underneath, we find a maze of wires and light bulbs. But one thing you should be always careful of is, for goodness sakes, don't drop the plate.
Everybody remembered the fake hand. I used to have people coming up to me with a fake hand. They wanted me to shake it, you know.
For the next 30 minutes, stay tuned.
I'm Todd N. Tuckey for TNT Amusements, and I got into this business in 1979 full-time. In the early 70s, we purchased games, and these were video games that were fascinating. Beautiful color. We would produce with a home camera a 10 or 15 minute video of our showroom of what we sold, and we propped up a TV set and played it back. It was edited into camera, basically. Interestingly enough, that show got me into the broadcast pioneers of Philadelphia, where all the broadcasters we hear about, Gene London, Captain Noah, all these people were members. That has gotten me recognized by a lot of people when I walk around town. People would hear my voice.
Now that you're here, we'll turn everything on.
When people come in, they are immediately struck with a wave of nostalgia. When they were a teenager and went into the arcade and played and learned Pac-Man, or saw for the very first time this magical picture.
Back in the mid-90s when I was a kid, of course you'd be in a big mall, double entrance, you'd walk in, you know, of course the newest game that was out at the time in the 90s would be up front. I remember the bright carpets, you know, they would have dim lights in there. But it was the atmosphere, it was the sound of the arcade games. Of course, you'll hear the joysticks, and you hear the buttons getting pounded if it's a fighter, and then, you know, you just hear the quarters going in the machine. Me, I am more into the 80s games. My twin, he's more into the 90s games. Me and my twin brother played Superstars a lot. You know, I beat him a lot more than he beat me. I mean, it's like anything. Some days your days, some days not. Me and him had fights, plenty of fights. You know, we were very competitive, always have been. I looked up and I saw, you know, Todd's YouTube channel, and they have a bargain basement. I came to TNT Amusements, and while I was here picking up the game, I asked, is there any way that I could help out around here? And then he's like, sure. So I've been doing it ever since. I like working on the games more than I like playing them anymore. You're bringing it back to life. It's like somebody that restores houses or buildings or cars. It's just there's no other feeling like it because you put your soul into it.
It's a work of art. These are a work of art.
When you bring it in and you take that cabinet and you take your time, you sand it down, you bondo it, you paint it, you put T-molding on it, and then you put all your electronics in it and you bring it back to life, you bring it back to collector's quality, you really feel proud because people want to buy it from you. When they play it, they can't believe that it's in this good a condition. When somebody brings an arcade game into the shop, you're looking for battery acid damage to make sure the boards are good. You're looking for, is the cabinet swollen anywhere? Do you have to do any repairs? Art repair, how the chassis or the monitor is. When you transition a cabinet that looks like someone's piece of trash to something that is collector quality, that is what brings me back to the hobby every day. Even though you're just working on a game, to them you brought their life back.
The only game I pretty much mastered is a game called Digger, and the premise was really neat. The alien crabs want to eat you, and the only way to kill them is to dig a hole, with 5 scoops. The crab falls in, then you have 5 scoops to fill him in, and then he's dead. And I kept it all these years. I bought it brand new, and it's such a great game, a lot of fun.
These games weren't made for your house. They were made for commercial use only. It's lucky that people cared enough about them to bring them into their homes and take care of them.
Arcades are here to stay. Not only are they here to stay, they're growing. All around the world, everywhere, the nostalgia feeling is there. And the best part is the young people are starting to get involved. The first wave of growth were bars, where young people were discovering Defender, Spy Hunter, Asteroids, Miss Pac-Man, Frogger, Dig Dug. That's where they were discovering it. People want to go back to that. They want the game they played in the arcade and put a fortune into in their house. Games that bring back memories that they've lost. It takes you back to that time.
That takes me back to the days at Jilly's Arcade on the Ocean City Boardwalk. My dad used to have this little step stool he would put me on so I could actually reach the pinball machine. He would leave me there for what felt like hours until I ran out of quarters. Those were the days.
Oh, I'm remembering the same about my time in the arcade. Just trying to get all of the high scores in every machine takes me way back.
Have you ever gone back and looked to see if your high scores are still on there?
Oh, they're definitely not there anymore. The times have changed, Marissa.
It's like Seinfeld and Frogger. I love it.
Oh, but before I forget, look what I found.
Necra, how did you find one of those? They've been sold out everywhere.
I'm not sure. I guess I just got lucky. The stars aligned so we could play together.
Oh, girl, it is on like Donkey Kong. I want to play with you. Well, for Necra and myself and the whole team behind FTW Philly, presented by Temple University, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.